Stop eating spirit cloggers immediately. Before you reach for your next morning habit, before you touch the coffee, the sugary breakfast, or that first quick dopamine hit from your smartphone screen, I need you to stop. Imagine standing at your kitchen sink as the gray light of the morning rises around you. The impulse to swallow anything that gives you a temporary lift, a momentary escape from the heaviness, is deafening. But that lift is a trap. I want you to consider an alternative that takes exactly 2 minutes and one single drop of a legendary preparation. It is a sovereign ritual designed to relight what the Edgar Cayce readings call your internal pilot light. This isn't about a medical cure. It's about clearing the biological ash that modern life piles onto your system every single day. Most people treat their constant exhaustion as a simple lack of sleep. They think if they could just get another hour in bed, the fog would lift. But what if that heaviness isn't sleep deprivation? What if it is energetic residue? A thick, layered ash of stimulants, screen static, reactive alerts, and processed inputs that have dulled your clarity and choked your body's subtle metabolic signals. I call these spirit cloggers. They are the immediate caffeine hits that borrow energy from your future. They are the ultra-processed fats and hidden sugars in convenience foods that spike your system only to leave you crashed and hollow. They are the mental abrasions of social feeds and the breaking news cycles that steal your morning sovereignty before you've even breathed properly. These are the small, daily consumptions that sit like gray ash over the hearth of your soul. They make you reach for more fuel, more heat, more noise, when what you actually need is to relight the pilot and clear the embers. The practice I'm about to describe to you comes through a lineage of readings attributed to Edgar Cayce, the man many call the father of modern biohacking. In his deep trance states, Cayce described the thyroid not just as an organ, but as the pilot light of the entire human frame, the transformer between your physical metabolic hearth and the subtler corridors of intuition and clarity. He often spoke of the thyroid pineal corridor, a bridge of energy that allows you to perceive your purpose and maintain your vitality. When this corridor is clogged by the static of modern life, your inner eye goes dark. The suggestion in these readings is not mainstream medical doctrine. It is an historical, experimental ritual from a profound esoteric tradition. Users of this practice for nearly a century have reported that a precise, tiny internal wash, performed with a specific form of iodine, referenced as atomic iodine or atomidine, can assist in clearing the spirit clogs that muffle that pilot light. I want to be very intentional with my language here. This is what is reported and described in the historical lineage. This is not a prescription. If you are pregnant, nursing, have thyroid disease, autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's, or are taking thyroid or other endocrine medications, you must consult your healthcare provider before trying anything like this. Do not stop or change any prescribed medication based on this video. Sovereignty means taking responsibility for your safety first. If you experience any unusual symptoms, you must pause and seek medical advice immediately. If this message is landing for you, if the idea of reclaiming a small, quiet sovereignty over your morning feels like a matter of survival in 2026, type "ignited" in the comments right now. That single word is more than a comment. It is a mark of intent. It creates a small social contract with yourself and this community. You will stop the compulsive consumption, you will observe your body, and you will report back. Here is the ritual, exact and sensory. It is simple, low effort, and designed to be repeatable for a lifetime. Begin with a clean, plain glass. Avoid plastic or metal. You want a neutral container. Use room temperature water, exactly half a glass. This is not about the volume of water you drink. It is about the signal you are sending to your glands. Add exactly one single drop of the preparation identified in the readings as atomic iodine or atomidine. This reference is very specific. This is not the iodine you find in a survival kit or a standard drugstore tincture. It is a vibratory, anionic preparation. The instruction from the Cayce lineage is absolute. One drop only, not two, not more. After the drop falls, give the glass a gentle clockwise swirl. You are not trying to agitate the water. You are unifying the water and the drop into a single, quiet solution. Now, the pattern of consumption. This is where the biohacking becomes spiritual practice. Hold the glass. Feel the weight of it in your hand. Begin a rhythmic sip and breath pattern for roughly 2 minutes. Take a small mouthful, a sip, and then inhale gently through your nose, letting the breath anchor you in the present moment. Sip again, then exhale slowly. Continue this back and forth at an even, steady cadence. Sip, inhale, sip, exhale. The idea is to create a measured rhythm that signals your nervous system that the emergency of the morning is over. You are performing a reclaiming act, not consuming a stimulant. Over the course of about 2 minutes, this tiny internal wash moves like a soft, cleansing tide through your throat and upper chest. It gives a subtle, vibratory cue to the pilot light metaphorically nestled in your thyroid pineal corridor. Do not gulp it down. Keep it conscious. Keep it sensory. Keep it sovereign. You should practice this ritual consistently, but with a very specific pulse. 5 days on, followed by 2 days off. This 5-2 rhythm is intentional and vital. It prevents the body from continuous loading and creates the necessary space for your biology to respond and recalibrate. Think of it like tending a real fire. You use the bellows and tend the coals for several days, but then you must step back and watch how the embers behave on their own. Many practitioners find that the body responds best when it is given those 2 days of rest to process the signal. What do people report after adopting this 120-second routine? Framed as subjective anecdotal outcomes, the results are often profound. Users describe a sense of metabolic ignition, a warming, steady energy that feels more like a constant, reliable flame than the frequent, jittery flare-ups of caffeine. Many say the mental fog that usually haunts their first hour of work begins to thin. They describe the throat feeling lighter, the mind feeling clearer, and a steadier emotional tone that lasts well into the mid-afternoon. Others report a subtle but real increase in what I call vibrational resilience. This is the feeling that you are less reactive to the ambient static of the world, whether that is a chaotic news cycle, a stressful email, or a draining social interaction. You feel like you have a shield of energy that prevents these spirit cloggers from sticking to you. Of course, these are reported experiences, not guaranteed clinical results. Your individual outcome will be influenced by your sleep, your baseline nutrition, and your stress levels. To keep this safe and grounded, remember that this protocol is an experimental, historical ritual. The terms atomic iodine and atomadine are specific to this tradition. If you choose to source them, do so with deep research and always consult your clinician first. If you notice palpitations, dizziness, or any adverse reaction, you must pause immediately. This ritual is not a substitute for thyroid testing or professional diagnostics. It is a tool for the sovereign individual to use in conjunction with wisdom. How do you monitor these subtle changes? I want you to look for 3 specific signs. First, notice the throat. Does it feel less congested or stuck in the morning? Second, notice the clarity. Does your mental fog begin to thin before you even reach for breakfast? Third, track your mood. Is your emotional regulation steadier by 3 p.m. without you having to grab another stimulant? Keep a simple log for 7 days. A morning note, a midday note, and an evening note. Small observations are the language of biology. If something shifts, mark it down. If nothing changes, that is feedback too. Common questions usually arise. No, this is not about high-dose iodine. We are talking about one single drop, a microsignal. No, this is not a license to stop your medications. And no, this is not a miracle cure that allows you to keep eating junk food and scrolling social media for 6 hours a day. It is a micro-practice designed for sovereignty. It is a 2-minute moment that you control. It is a ritual that interrupts your compulsive consumption and replaces it with a mindful signal. The metaphors of the hearth, the pilot light, the embers, and the ash are the most accurate way to describe your metabolism. If you repeatedly smother that pilot light with spirit cloggers, With quick fuels and digital static, you will eventually feel the cold. Sometimes the most powerful intervention is the smallest one. A repeated act that speaks directly to your nervous system and your sense of agency. If you are ready to try this, commit to a minimum of 7 consecutive days on that 5-2 rhythm. Post the word ignited in the comments to join the accountability of this community. We are not just viewers. We are a collective of people reclaiming our energy from a world that wants us dim. After 7 days, come back here. Tell us what shifted. Report the small signals, the throat, the clarity, the mood. Your testimony is the data that helps others notice their own patterns. Stop eating spirit cloggers immediately. It is both a command and an invitation. It is an ask for you to stop reflexively consuming the pollutants that keep your internal light smothered. Replace those reactive habits with a sovereign 2-minute ritual. Half a glass of room temperature water, 1 single drop of atomic iodine, a gentle swirl, and a rhythmic 2-minute sip and breath pattern. Sovereignty begins with a small refusal. Stop eating the cloggers, light the pilot light, tend the hearth, and watch as the embers of your life become a steady, resilient, and unstoppable flame. I will see you in the next code, where we will dive into the karmic imprints hidden on your skin. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss the moment we decode the soul's map. Let's keep walking this path of reclamation together.